Alright, let's dive into a crazy take on the Maji War and the Mau Mau War, two wild chapters of colonial resistance in East Africa. I'll sprinkle some humor into the history, look at who really won each war, and keep things light but grounded in the facts. Buckle up for a ride through Tanzania and Kenya with a smirk. The Maji War, 1905-1907. The Great Water Balloon Fight. Picture this, it's 1905 in German East Africa, modern-day Tanzania, and the locals are fed up with the Germans forcing them to grow cotton like it's some kind of colonial arts and crafts project. The German overlords are strutting around twirling their mustaches, thinking they've got everything under control. Enter Kinjekitile Ngwale, a spirit medium with a flair for the dramatic. He's got a wild idea, a magic potion called Maji, water, mixed with castor oil and millet seeds that'll turn German bullets into harmless splashes. It's the ultimate just-add-water solution to colonial oppression. Kinjekitle's pitch is straight out of a comedy sketch. Drink this, folks, bullets, poof, they'll turn into bathwater, we'll be invincible. The people, desperate and probably a little bored by it, hook, line, and sinker. They grab their spears, douse themselves with the sacred Maji, and charge at German garrisons like it's a water balloon fight at a summer picnic. The rebellion kicks off in the Matumbi Hills, spreads like wildfire, and soon everyone's yelling Maji Maji, while splashing each other and dreaming of a German-free Tanzania. The apex comes at Mahenge in August 1905. Thousands of Maji warriors, hyped up on Kinjekitile's Kool-Aid, storm a German outpost defended by Lieutenant Theodor von Hassel and his trusty machine guns. The plan? Simple. Stand there, get shot, and laugh as the bullets turn into refreshing mist. Spoiler alert. Physics doesn't care about your spiritual vibe. The bullets stay very much bullets, and the warriors realize mid-battle that maybe the Maji isn't the miracle cure they'd hoped for. The Maji is a lie. Some shout as they drop their bottles and run for the hills. Kinjekitile himself gets caught and hanged early on, probably muttering, "Well, it sounded good in my head." Between 75,000 and 300,000 people die. Mostly from famine because the Germans burn crops like they're hosting a barbecue gone wrong. By 1907, the rebellion's toast, and the Germans are smugly dusting off their hands thinking, mission accomplished. Who really won? The Germans technically won because they kept control, but it's a Pyrrhic victory at best. They lose so many resources and look so brutal that Kaiser Wilhelm's government back in Berlin goes, maybe chill out a bit? Reforms follow, and the Africans plant a seed of resistance that'll sprout later. The real winners? Future Tanzanian nationalists who turned the Maji fiasco into a rallying cry. Sure, we lost, but we looked fabulous doing it. Kinjekitile's legacy lives on as the guy who tried to fight guns with a magical squirt bottle. Hysterical in hindsight, heroic in spirit. Now let's hop over to Kenya, where the Mau Mau uprising turns the 1950s into a colonial sitcom gone dark. The British have been hogging the best land for their tea parties, leaving the Kikuyu, Embu, and Meru folks stuck with scraps. Enter the Kenya Land and Freedom Army, KLFA, aka the Mau Mau, a name so mysterious even they're not sure where it came from. Some say it's an anagram for Uma Uma, get out, get out. Or others say it's just a cool sound to yell while waving a machete. The Mau Mau starts with a secret society vibe, swearing oaths with goat blood and vowing to kick the British out. It's all very cloak and dagger until they get creative, poisoning cattle with toxic plants, raiding farms, and ambushing loyalists who snitch to the Brits. The British, sipping tea in Nairobi, are like, what's all this fuss? Or until Governor Evelyn Baring declares a state of emergency in 1952, after some loyalist chiefs get whacked. Cue the chaos. The British round up 180 Mau Mau leaders in Operation Jock Scott, including Jomo Kenyatta, who's more of a moderate but gets nabbed anyway, and start herding over 1 million Kikuyu into barbed wire villages that look like dystopian summer camps. The Mau Mau fights back from the forests, led by badass generals like Dedan Kimathi, who's basically Kenya's Robin Hood with a gun. They're scrappy, but the British have tanks, planes, and a budget of $55 million to squash them. By 1956, the Mau Mau were mostly crushed. Kimathi's captured and hanged in 1957, probably cursing the British with his last breath. The death toll? At least 11,000 Mau Mau fighters, 1 through 90 hanged, and countless civilians caught in the crossfire. The British crow about victory, but here's the twist. The uprising scares them so much that they start negotiating independence. By 1963, Kenya's free and Kenyatta's the first president. Why'd it happen? Land. The British grabbed Kenya's fertile highlands, leaving Africans toiling as squatters on their own turf. Add racist policies, no political voice, and a post-Watsuri we deserve better attitude from Kenyan veterans. And you've got a rebellion cocktail. The Mau Mau wanted freedom, dignity, and maybe a little revenge. Can't blame them for that. Who really won? The British won the military fight, but it's like winning a pie-eating contest only to realize the pie's poisoned. The Mau Mau lost the battles, but won the war. Kenya's independence in 1963 is their real trophy. The British slink off, muttering, "Well, we showed them." Sort of. Didan Kimathi's a national hero and the Mau Mau get the last laugh. Turns out poisoning cows and scaring colonizers into leaving is a winning strategy after all. The funny wrap-up. Maji Maji. Kinjekitili's bulletproof water flops hilariously, but the Germans win a hollow victory while Tanzania's spirit gets a boost score. Germans 1, future Tanzania 2. Mau Mau, the British win the body count, but the Mau Mau wins the future by making Kenya too hot to handle. Score Brits 1, Kenya 10, extra points for style. Both wars are tragic yet absurd in their own way. One's a tale of magical misadventure, the other a gritty guerrilla romp. The colonizers win on paper, but the real champs are the locals who turn epic fails into epic legacies. History's funniest punchline? Sometimes losing is just winning with extra steps.